Predator is a unique series that has occasionally branched out and done different things, but more or less stayed within the same territory, if you know what I'm saying. Predator comes to Earth, hunts humans, humans kill it, the end. So when Predator Badlands was revealed via trailer, I would be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued. I was a bit nervous because I'm not the biggest fan of Dan Trachtenberg. I did not like Prey. I think Prey was a bad movie. My review of that here. I didn't really like Killer of Killers that much either, although Killer of Killers was better than Prey in my opinion. You can watch my thoughts on that movie here, but I just overall, I'm not a fan of Dan and what he's been doing with the Predator franchise. But something about Badlands, it had potential, and I was not excited, but cautiously optimistic for it. This is not the first time we've seen a Predator be the protagonist of his own movie, but this is the first time they've gone full-blown with it. Deck, the Predator of this movie, is the one main protagonist. Scar from AVP was a secondary protagonist. Wolf was also sort of a secondary protagonist, in my opinion. But Deck, he's the main character. We follow his story throughout the entire film. But did they pull it off? I would say maybe. You know, kinda. It worked, but like it's not without flaws. So this movie, I would give it like a solid. As of right now, I've seen it twice in theaters. As of right now, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10 at the strongest, 6 out of 10 at the weakest, you know, or maybe 5 out of 10 at the weakest. But I think overall 7 out of 10. Okay, I liked the movie. I did. I enjoyed it. I think it was pretty good. The story overall, well, let's start with the positives, right? The story overall, I think, is good. I like the opening, especially. I think people are being disingenuous when they talk about the plot of the movie. You'll see a lot of movie reviews that basically say, oh, the main Predator has daddy issues, so it's lame and woke or whatever, you know, other buzzwords like that. But no, it's a lot more than that. I, too, would have daddy issues if my dad murdered my brother in front of me. The whole story does not just revolve around, oh, my dad disapproves of me and thinks I'm weak, so I need to prove him wrong. No. Throughout the entire movie, Deck is on a journey to not only prove his clan and father wrong and prove himself right for Quay, his brother, but he is also on a mission of revenge to go back home and kill his father for, you know, again, murdering his brother in front of him. It's a bit more than people make it out to be. I liked the dynamic between Deck and Thea overall. It was interesting seeing an android, Weyland-Yutani android, that could feel, right? That had emotion and wasn't just like a cardboard cutout, because, you know, that's of course what the androids are usually meant to be. But Thea was, of course, a different story. She was kind of like a human stand-in. She was more or less just a human character, but she was actually a robot. So it's, you know, she was the human stand-in for the audience. The action, of course, was pretty solid. Deck, I was expecting him to be really bad in all of these fights, but he kicked some pretty good ass, honestly. I was kind of surprised with how much ass he kicked. The music was great. It's definitely not as good as, you know, the classic Predator themes, but it's pretty good. Even though it was PG-13, which I was, you know, in the beginning very disappointed by, there was a decent amount of gore. You know, not a wonderful amount, but it was enough to say, okay, this is fine. Because at the end of the day, they made it PG-13 because there was no human blood. There's no human death. There's not a single human character in the entire film. So, because there's no human red blood, they were able to get away with a PG-13 rating because the only blood you see, the only gore you see is alien blood and, you know, the android blood. So, yeah. They were able to get away with it. Still wasn't as much gore as I would have personally liked out of a Predator movie. I would have preferred if it was rated R, but it is what it is, I guess. This isn't the first time we've had a PG-13 Predator movie. I did also like the ending I liked the ending a lot. That kind of got me excited for the future, because, in my opinion, this movie is definitely not flawless. It has flaws, and I'm going to listen to that very soon. But if they go down the direction I hope they go down with this movie, and any sequel that comes out, because I'm sure there will be a sequel, if they do it right, we could be in for some good shit, okay? We could be in for some good Predator again. But they have to do it right, because the way you could follow up with this, you could very easily put it in the wrong direction, right? You could very easily mess this up. I'm hoping that they don't, but it is Dan Trachtenberg, so who knows? But if they do it right, if they do this the right way, I think it could make for some really good Predator. But overall, all the basic things you need to make a decent movie are there, right? Good enough story, good characters, engaging characters. I did end up actually caring about Deck, and he's one of my favorite Yautja from the series now. I do really like him. But that doesn't make this movie flawless. First and foremost, I have seen a lot of conversation around this movie, people calling it a Disney-fied Predator, right? And I know some people don't like that, but it is. I like the movie, but it is a Disney-fied Predator. It is a very watered-down version of Predator. It is. It is, okay? You don't need to deny that. It just is. It is very watered down compared to the previous films. And I say that because, A, the corny humor. The corny humor was, it wasn't too much to really put me off. It wasn't too much to piss me off or, like, truly annoy me. But it was enough for me to say, like, okay, you know, this is, can we cut this now? Can we cut it out? But the corny humor did mostly subside the longer the movie went on. As soon as Thea, the android, is introduced, the corny humor takes off. And as soon as, what's his name, Bud, that little baby Callisk, is introduced, it also, like, goes to the next level, right? But after a while, like I said, it does subside, it gets a bit better, and although there is corny humor, some of the humor does land. Like, I do like some of the humor. It was kind of funny. But a lot of it was just, no, not the personal tone I would like. Speaking of the baby Callisk, they just could not resist throwing in the marketable Baby Yoda, could they? I don't know why we needed to do this. The baby Callisk really served very little narrative purpose, and overall, it was just there to be, again, the marketable Baby Yoda plushie. They couldn't resist. They had to put that thing in Predator. They just had to. I don't really like the inclusion of the baby Callisk, Bud. I don't like him. The humor surrounding him, even though, again, like I said, it subsides by the end of the movie. It's all just, you know, really childish, and there's only one scene that I think is actually kind of funny with him. But overall, we don't need Bud. I don't know why they had to shove in Bud. At the very least, they could have thrown in a baby Callisk, but they could have at least tried to make it unique and different. Why do we need another Zuko or another Baby Yoda? I am so sick of this trend of shoving in baby-fied alien monster things into these shows and movies. It's like, ever since Baby Yoda happened, Baby Yoda was a new thing, right? Baby Yoda was interesting because he was like the first one to really do it. But now, ever since the success of Baby Yoda took off, we just got to keep doing it now. Like I said, we got Zuko, now Bud. It's like, how many more of these things do we need to shove in? I'm sick of it. I don't like it. I'm getting so tired of it. Predator did not need a Baby Yoda. I also did feel like the very ending of the movie, where Deck goes back to Yautja Prime and kills his father, was a little undeserved. Like, it happened a bit too quickly, right? Deck, of course, went through the whole story of, you know, him being on Jenna, and his skills could have improved there, but I think it's obvious that there was a slight time jump, you know? because Bud, the baby Kalisk, has grown a bit now. And Thea's got a whole new outfit, and Dex got, you know, a whole new suit of armor. So, like, there was clearly a time jump, and you could say, oh, he trained, he got better, right? But, like, I don't know. I don't really like that. I mean, it was fine, I guess. It set up, you know, Dex's mom coming in. But I think it was too fast. I feel like this movie should have kind of waited, held that off, maybe give us a sequel where he, you know, goes back around the beginning of the movie and fights his father. You know, I wanted to make it, I wanted to feel like he earned it, because in the way that they kind of did it in the end, either A, make Badlands a longer movie and kind of make it feel more natural, or B, kind of put this scene where he kills his father around the beginning of the sequel, the second movie. Like, overall, it's not that big of a deal, but it felt a little bit rushed. It felt a little bit unearned. Overall, I'm happy that this movie is okay. Yeah, I'm happy that this movie is, you know, it turned out all right. I'm happy that I enjoyed it, and I'm happy that we're finally exploring new avenues aside from just, you know, the general Predator hunts humans and Predator loses and dies, right? I'm happy about this because we've really needed this, in my opinion. We have needed a whole lot more than the general Predator formula. I know some people don't like when Predator branches out and does new things, but in my opinion, that's lame and stupid, because Predator, as a franchise, has so much potential. It has so much storytelling potential for things like the Yautja and how their culture operates, right? Their honor code. And the fact that we get to see that in Badlands, the fact that this is on full display for us, I think is really good. It's really, really refreshing, because it feels like something you would read from in the comics, right? I've read a handful of Predator comics, one of these including Black Panther versus Predator, the Marvel crossover. That one, I love that one so much, because it makes the Yautja, like the main Yautja hunting Black Panther and whatnot, it makes him a character. He is a character, and he has his own personal motivation. It isn't just honor, it isn't just, oh, I'm here to hunt, right? He has an actual motivation that is unique and interesting, and there is a reason he is here in Wakanda, searching for vibranium. It is so cool. It is fascinating. And, like, it just proved to me that, yes, I was right. This series, this franchise, has so much potential for storytelling. But yeah, overall, I'm happy that this movie exists. It was all right. It was pretty good. You know, I liked it. Again, 7 out of 10. I would give it. Not flawless, though, and I will never be ashamed to call out those flaws like some people, unfortunately, are. But that's what this community has turned into now, unfortunately. Overall, step in the right direction. We have a bright future ahead of us if Dan does this right. But it could go wrong. It could go either way. So I'm going to stay, yet again, cautiously optimistic. And I suggest you do too. But what did you think? Do you agree with me, my takes? Do you disagree? Am I stupid? Am I dumb? I hope not. I don't want to be stupid and dumb. Let me know in the comments if you agree with this amazing take. Go ahead, like and subscribe. Check out some of my other Predator videos. Check out my video on why Predator is so cool, and my review of Predator, Killer of Killers, and Prey, and all that stuff. And go check out my problem with Predator. You know, I'm a big Predator fan. I like Predator an awful lot. I'm very passionate about this franchise, so it is very important to me that the people behind it get it right. And I've got my problems with how Dan Trachtenberg does things. So if you want to learn more about that, go ahead and watch those videos. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.